Good morning, respected teacher and my dear friends. My name is Revati Bhalerao and I am studying in 9C, roll number 2. Of course, today is geography activity and my topic is volcanoes and types of volcanic eruption. So let's see. In first, so here we can see in first diagram, lava is coming out through vent and it is spreading all over. As a result, conical volcanic mountains are formed. Examples like Mount Fujiyama in Japan and uh, Mount Kilimanjaro in Tanzania. In second diagram, we see that lava is not coming from vent but from many cracks, which is also called as fissures, and due to this eruption spreads overall the earth's surface, and as a result volcanic plateaus are formed, and India's Deccan Plateau has been formed due to such type of volcanic eruption. Now beside this, more three types of volcanoes and are there. First diagram shows that volcanic eruption is regular in the present time. Such volcano is called active volcano. Examples like Mount Stromboli in Mediterranean Sea. Second diagram shows that when a volcano has not erupted for long period but suddenly start erupting is called dormant volcano. Examples like mm, Mount Vesuvius in Italy and in India, Barren Island. And in third diagram, that shows when a volcano has not erupted for long period and not like to erupt in future are called extinct volcano. Examples like um, Kyushu Paul Ridge in the Philippine Sea. So now there is some one experiment which I am going to show you. I had not searched anywhere. I just think about it and I got it. So let's see. 1 second, ma'am. Just take a matchbox and pick out from that one stick. So uh, you think that this is a extinct volcano which is not erupted for long period and not like to erupt in future also, and then I will erupt it like this. So you think that this is an dormant volcano which is not erupted for long period and start erupting suddenly, and after that this is the active volcano which is erupting for regular only in present time also. Thank you. I hope you like my activity and experiment both.
Number is 14. Today I'm gonna explain about the rain gauge. So the instrument that is used to measure the rainfall is called the rain gauge. The funnel that is used to for measuring the rain has a specific diameter. The rain falling in this funnel is collected in the bottle, fitted in the gauge, and then the collected water is then measured in the with the help of the measuring jar. The measuring jar reads in the millimeters. The area In the area of the heavy rainfall, the reading of the rain is taken every 3 hours. So the rain gauge is kept on open ground on a 30 centimeter at flat mount. Hence, the rainwater is collected without any obstruction. Thank you.
Good, Katie. Standard 9 Division B. I am here today to present the presentation of geography. That name is Block Mountain. Because of internal horizontal movement, Waves moving away from each other are formed. This causes tension on the layer of rock. This leads to formation of rocks, fracture in rocks. These are known as faults. Similarly, waves coming towards each other in hard rock also form faults due to compression. When a part of the Earth's crust is between two parallel faults is lifted, at it's look like a block. Thank you.
Fine, Omkar. Yes, start.
Good morning, ma'am. Myself Bhumi Rajesh Chatkar, and I am the student of class 9B, and my roll number is 5. Today I am going to present a rift valley. In simple words, rift valley is a lowland region formed by interaction of Earth's tectonic plates. Sometimes two fractured sides develop side by side in the Earth's crust. The land between two sides is called a rift valley. The deep subsided part is called the Rift Valley. Both the slopes of Rift Valley are steep. For example, the Rift Valley of River Narmada in India. Thank you.
Yes, start.
Good morning, teacher and my friends. My name is Aditya Ardas. I am studying in 9th standard, Division A, roll number 42. My topic is erosional work of wind. The wind carries small particles, small papers, etc. along this particle cause erosion along rocks coming in a way due to friction. This erosion leads to the formation of mushroom rocks and yardens. This is mushroom rocks formed by the erosional work of wind and yardens. Thank you.
Yes, start. Okay, Manjima, start. What happened?
Good morning, everyone. Myself, Manjima Ujit from Standard 9th B. Today, I'm here to explain about the rain gauge, what is its use and what are their functions. First of all, what is the rain gauge? A rain gauge, also known as a nudometer, or an obrometer, is an instrument used by meteorologists and hydrologists to gather and measure the amount of liquid precipitation over an area in a period of time. Now, what was the reason behind to use the rain gauge? People living in India began to record rainfall in 400 BCE. The readings were correlated against expected growth. In the Arthashastra used, for example, in Magadha, precise standards were set as to grain production. Each of the state storehouses were equipped with a rain gauge to classify land for taxation purposes. In 1662, Christopher Wren created the first tipping bucket rain gauge in Britain in collaboration with Robert Hooke. Hooke also designed a manual gauge with a funnel that made measurements throughout 1695. Due to the ever-increasing numbers of observators, standardization of the gauges became necessary. Simons began experimenting on new gauges in his own garden. He tried different models with variations in size, shape, and height. Now, what is the function of the rain gauge and what is its structure? A rain gauge consists of receiver, funnel, tipping bucket, recording device, and measuring tube. The receiver is 200 millimeter in diameter. The tipping bucket measures each 0.2, 0.5 or 1 millimeter or 0.01 inch of rainfall. It could also include a siphon that allows rain to flow at a steady rate to the tipping bucket mechanism, regardless of rainfall intensity. Once the rain is captured, the bucket tips and empties. The tipping bucket rain gauge consists of funnel that collects and channels the precipitation into a small seesaw-like container. After a preset amount of precipitation falls, The lever dips, dumping the collected water and sending an electrical signal. The tipping bucket gauge is used to measure rainfall volume and rate. Rain entering through a funnel assembly with an 7.87-inch orifices passes through a Tebris filtering screen and is funneled into one side of the tipping bucket assembly inside the gauge. Rainwater is funneled through the funnel and it is sent to the tipping bucket. Tipping bucket rain gauge. After a preset amount of precipitation falls, the lever tips, dumping the collected water and sending an electrical signal. An old style recording device. This is the recording device fitted near the tipping bucket. May consist of a pen mounted on an arm attached to a geared wheel that moves once with each signal sent from the collector. Recording of rainfall using the standard of funnel rain gauge is generally done manually. These gauges work by catching the falling rain in funnel-shaped collector that is attached to a measuring tube. This is the funnel-shaped collector that is attached to the measuring tube. Magnifying the rain in this way allows precise measurements down to 1/100th of an inch. Thank you.
Yes, start.
Good morning, ma'am. My name is Simran Satyanarayan Sahu, studying in St. Anthony Convent Higher Secondary School, Standard 9, Division C, roll number 16. Today, my topic is field visit. We know that we go for field visit. So I want to ask you, what is field visit? Anyone can answer me? Ma'am, is it clear?
Yes.
Field visit is an important study method of geography. Geographical concept and element can be directly expressed. Through field visit are extremely useful for understanding the correlation between human and environment. So what precaution we should take during field visit? First, we should decide where we are going, ask your administrator, arrange for transportation, decide on a food plan, plan your schedule, arrange your supervision, create a permission form, decide who are allowed to go, study the location, map, and the route of the place. So if we are selecting about study area, so what all things come in the study areas? Physical landforms, rivers, banks, offices, or museum related to geographical dens, coastal areas, tourist sites, villages, forest area. So this all comes in study areas. Note, for a field visit, we should always carry a pen, pencil, scale, a book to note, a tape to measure the things, a compass to find the places, questionnaires to ask the peoples, then a camera to take the pictures of the medical herbs or historical places, and maps to find the areas. So what precaution we should take during field visit? We should not touch any property during field visit. We should not harm any plants, anything else. Keep following teacher or supervisor instructions. We should not go far from our group. And the important thing that we should carry always with us, that is first aid box. Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, can I ask some question?
Okay.
So the things that I told you that are related to field visit. So who can tell me what the extra thing that we take for field visit? What extra we can take for field visit?
Okay. To whom you are? Okay. They are answering. They are answering.
You can tell me that one.
Okay. Location. Maps. Okay. Anushka is saying maps. Okay. What about other students? If someone is asking a question, you should reply them. Okay. Okay. Repeat again. Simran, your question.
And the precaution I have showed you, the 4 main precaution I have showed you. And what else precaution are there
Okay.
for during field visit?
Yes, some are saying ID card, location should be checked. Okay, fine. Another precaution, students, as I told you, and she is also, acha, not roam anywhere. Okay, climate. Okay, not climate is not a specific thing.
So, as I told you that the important thing is first aid box. So, what should be contained in the first aid box? Which medicines or some tapes and creams? Why should we carry first aid box and what thing we should carry in there?
Okay, bandage. Some are saying bandage, tablets. Okay, very good, students. Okay, Ria, bandage. Any other? Okay, antiseptic cream. Rosins. Okay. Okay, Simran, very good. So, okay, tape, very good.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, can I mute
Okay,
myself?
Yes, yes, you can mute yourself. Now start. Start.
Yes. Good morning, ma'am. Good morning to my dear friends. My name is Dhruv Kadam and I am studying in 9th B. My roll number is 52. My today's topic is Rift Valley. Rift Valley. Sometimes two fractures develop side by side in the earth crust. The land in between the two fractures subside. This subside dip part is called Rift Valley. Both the slopes of a Rift Valley are steep. The more information about the Rift Valley. A Rift Valley is a linear shaped lowland between several highlands or mountain range created by the action of a geological rift or fault. A rift valley is formed on a di- divergent plate boundary, a crust extension or spreading a part of the surface which is sub subsequently further depend by the force of erosions. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, Dhruv. Very good. Now start.
Hello, ma'am. Good morning to all and one. Myself, Rutuja Santosh Chokre. I'm 9C. My standard is 9C and my roll number is 14. So today my topic is distribution map. Types of distribution map. Just a wait, ma'am. Ma'am, it is clear.
Yes, it is clear, beta.
Anybody can. Anybody can tell me what is mean by distribution map?
Okay. Just read they are answering. Okay. Okay. You can repeat a question or change your question. Okay.
Yes.
Very good, students. Map is used to show the distribution of variables. Some are saying Manjima. Okay. Very good. Okay. Next.
Okay. I tell these maps are useful to explain the distribution of these variable in a region. Such map easily bring out patterns of a distribution.
Okay, anyone can tell me how many types are there in the distribution map?
Okay, there are some are saying there are three maps, three types. Okay.
What are they?
Okay, Simran is saying chloropleth. Revati dot. Okay. Ria is saying isopleth. Okay, very good, Simran. Okay.
Okay. So first is dot method. A dot map is prepared using statistical data. While preparing a dot map, only data gathered through continuous is used. The way is a variable, a distribution throughout the region. The dots are used to show its distribution on the map. For example, the population of a region, the distribution of cattle, etc. The following precautions should be taken while using the dot method for the map. The size of a dot should be uniform. The distribution of a physiographic water resources, sources, transport system, etc. of a region should be considered while placing a dot on the map. While showing population distribution, rural population is shown by a dot and a circle are used to show urban population. The dot method is most suitable for that variable which is freely scattered across the region. Next, second map, choropleth method. In this map, the data regarding various various geographic variable is shown by a shade or a tinted, often various color. While making such moves, the data used for a different variable is obtained through a various process such as measurement, surviving, etc.
Okay.
Now,
Very good. Okay, it is.
thank you, ma'am. In this method, only one value is given to show an submetric unit in a region. Such class is ascended, often tinted, some of colors are black and white pattern. Next topic, isopleth method. When the distribution of a variance is continuous, the isopleth method is then used to show its distribution. For example, at latitude, temperature, rainfall, etc. For this map, we need to obtain the accurate data regarding the latitude, temperature, rainfall, etc. of some region, some place in a region. On the database of this information, in this information, isopleth maps are prepared using the step below. The class is an interval decided to draw an isopleth map with which in turn decided the difference between the lines. Lines are drawn from the decided intervals location with the same value are joined by a line. Following conclusion are drawing on the basis of the map prepared in such a way. If lines are closer to each other, then they change in a variable is step, and if lines are all away from each other, then it's a gently we get an idea of a natural trend of a distribution of the variable with the help of maps. So I am showing three maps. First, dot method. This is a map. Second, choropleth method. Then isopleth. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, very good, beta.
Thank
Just
you.
now mute yourself. Start.
As the unseen yet omnipresent Almighty stands witness as sun rays announces a new day. I, Bhumi Tiwari from Standard 9C, with humility, is wishing all of you guys an empowered day as we pursue education. So today I'm going to lead you guys with the topic weathering and its type. Weathering is nothing but the disintegration or breakdown of rock materials. In mechanical weathering, there is no change in chemical composition of the rocks, just disintegration into smaller pieces. Mechanical weathering mainly occurs due to temperature, frost, crystal growth, and release of pressure and water. Mechanical weathering is dominant in arid climates. Exfoliation, block disintegration, granular weathering, and shattering, etc. are types of mechanical weathering. Next, we have chemical weathering. Chemical weathering occurs mainly due to the chemical reactions that are taking place in the biosphere. Chemical weathering is contains of three types. First is carbonation. When rainwater gets mixed with CO2 in atmosphere before falling on the earth, it forms dilute carbonic acid. This can dissolve limestone present in the water, thus resulting in its weathering. Next is formation of solution. Certain minerals and alkalis in the rocks get dissolved with water and they result in the formation of solution. This makes the rocks brittle. Next is oxidation. When iron in the rocks uh, comes in contact with water, a chemical reaction takes place between iron and oxygen, resulting in the formation of a reddish colored layer on the rocks. This process is known as oxidation, and the reddish colored substance is known as rust. Next, we have biological weathering. Biological weathering occurs mainly due to the biological factors like growth of plants through layers of the rocks, movement of animals, etc. Growth of plants. When the roots of trees grow through the rocks, they create tension in the rocks and starts breaking them. Similarly, when burrowing animals make their burrows in the ground, they create tension in the rocks and starts weathering them. Also, algae, moss, lichen, and other flora which grow in the rocks also help in their weathering. So here I would like to conclude my speech. Thank you.
Okay, Bhumi, very good. And your diagram is also proper. So, yes, start.
Good morning to one and all. Myself, Balaji Gupta. I am studying in 9th A, and today I am going to speak about volcanoes and their types. So first, let us know about what is a volcano. So an opening in the Earth's crust through which lava, steam, ashes, and gases escape is called a volcano. The process by which these substances come out of the cracks is called as volcanic eruption. There are many two types of volcanoes, central or conical volcanoes. First, let us take into consideration this one. When molten lava comes out through only one vent inside the Earth's surface, then it is called as a conical volcano. Examples are Mount Fujiyama in Japan and Mount Kilimanjaro in Tanzania. Second one is fissure type volcano. When during an eruption, magma comes out through number of fissures or cracks, it is called as a fissure type volcano. Example is a Deccan Plateau. Also, there are three other volcanoes, namely active volcanoes, dormant volcanoes, and extinct volcanoes. Yellowstone caldera in Yellowstone National Park, located in United States, is an example of active volcano. Here, this is an example of conical volcano, as the magma is coming out only through one crack, and this is an example of fissure type volcano, as magma is coming out through many cracks or vents. Thank you.
Okay, Balaji, very good. So let me know what, give me some answers. Okay, Balaji?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so tell me, when the volcanoes is there, so what type of thing came out from volcano? What type of things came out?
More poisonous and inflammable gases, etc.
Okay, good. Just mute yourself.
Yes.
Okay, and I'm from 9th. Today, I will tell you about geographical field visit and its four concepts. First of all, I will tell you about what is a field visit. A field visit is an important study matter in geography. Geographical concepts and elements can be directly explained through field visits. Field visits are extremely useful for understanding the correlation between humans and environment. The first concept of field visit is preparation for field visit. Before going to a field visit, decide the place and the purpose of visit. The element which will be observed in field visit should be decided. Study the location map and the route map of the place to be visited, distance, transport route, mean of transport, duration of field visit should be planned ahead. With the help of teachers, students will prepare a questionnaire about the question that, that they should ask. The second concept of field visit is selection of a study area. Geographical field visit is organized for study of various elements, for example, physical landfall, river banks, dams, coastal areas, tourism sites, office or museum related to geographical elements, villages, forests, etc. Elements should be selected after studying the location and the local condition. For a field visit, you should carry a notebook, questionnaires, pen, pencil, scale, a camera, compass, etc. The third one is preparation to be taken during a field visit. It is very important to ensure safety of ourselves and the others during a field visit. You should obey the instructions given by the teachers. We should not go to the unknown remote places alone during the field visit. You should try to understand the local circumstance by considering the local people. You should also ensure that you do not harm the environment in any way during your visit. You should always keep a first aid box with you for emergency circumstance. And the last one is report writing. A report, a field report should be written on the basis of information obtained from the field visit. Use the following issues to make a report. First, introduction. Second, location map and route map. Third, physiography. Fourth, climate. Fifth, population. Six, environmental problems and measures. 7, land utilization. 8, conclusions. This all should be mentioned in a report writing about a field visit or geographical field visit helps to know the place very extremely good. The aim of field visit is to make the coordination between the humans and the nature. Thank you.
Okay, very good. Your diagram is also good, Aryan, and your explanation is. Okay, just mute yourself and